Yeah, we saw the buys. I think the first time it became, I guess, obvious to everyone, evenly spread across in January across PulseX, Inc, HEX. Two times. I think it was the first time in January, two times in February, around the same, and then two times in March. One was HEX only, one was Pulse only, and then what was it? Just 24 hours ago or so, we saw PulseX only. I'm just adding this up now. Is Inc next? Didn't even think about it. Like, it's funny like how the single buys are happening now.
Yeah. I don't want to give away too much also because I'm having these thoughts too. I don't want to give away too much of my ideas on what's going to happen. But I can say this, that PulseX and Hex are the ones that you could look to for action because they're Hex in particular is so depressed. And I've said this before, like for 1 year of ink yields in the farms on the ink pairs, you're making 10 times the amount you're making for a 1 year hex stake right now. So that either tells me that the ink farms are overvalued or the hex price is undervalued by a factor of 10. So I think fair value on PHEX is somewhere around 10 cents, and we're just not there yet. But when that move comes, it'll probably happen pretty quickly. And on the ratio, like it looks to me that HEX is actually starting to stabilize and go sideways. We're kind of done with that period of brand damage and, EHEX versus PHEX, and that's in the history books now. So I expect that, you should be looking at HEX right now, because if you acquire enough units now, and I know we're kind of getting off the topic of liquidity, but I think this is important. If you're acquiring HEX now and you get enough units at a penny, and then let's say theoretically this whole liquidity system builds up into the billions of dollars or even $1 trillion, imagine that, you're going to have endless liquidity to sell into as a HEX staker. And the only ones that would have gotten rewarded are the guys that got their HEX today, right? The guys that got it now. Because by the time it's at 10 and 20 cents, you're going to get like 90% less coins for your dollar. And it's just going to be so hard to catch up to the guys that saw this coming early. And I think Storyteller on Twitter talks a lot about, if you can read the blockchain and you can see the bigger picture, that there's moves and battle shifts being put into position that's really setting up to look really good for HEX this cycle. And I wish everybody could just see and know that to be the truth. But, yeah, most people don't understand crypto.